I would have never in a billion years, like, if you had told past me that a female basketball player would be wiping the floor with the biggest stars in the NBA, I would have never believed you.
The haters hoped the Caitlin Clark effect would die down. Well, I've got bad news for them. It's only just begun. Caitlin Clark is setting new records, and if I'm reading the signs correctly, she's about to absolutely dominate in 2026. Big-name CEOs are already banking millions on it. Let's get into what just happened. So here's the news that prompted me to make this video, because it's absolutely insane and perfectly illustrates the Caitlin Clark effect, and how she doesn't even need the WNBA, or even to be on the court, to dominate. PSA, the company that grades trading cards and sets the standard for the entire collectibles industry, just released its 2025 data, and Caitlin Clark became the #1 most collected active basketball player in the world. She'd beat LeBron James, the face of basketball for 2 decades, for championships, for MVPs, the all-time scoring leader. She'd beat every single active NBA player while sitting on the bench injured. But it gets even crazier. PSA released a map showing the most graded active athletes by state. And when you look at the basketball category, it's not even close. It's Clark country. Almost every single state in America is sending in Caitlin Clark cards to get graded more than anyone else. And the numbers back it up. She had 3 of the 10 most graded cards overall in 2025. Not just basketball, all sports. But wait, there's more. In 2024, Caitlin was ranked #6 among the most collected basketball players. In 2025, while missing most of the season due to injury, she jumped to #1. PSA President Ryan Hogue said it clearly. This kind of momentum in the hobby is only seen from the most elite athletes. This isn't about basketball anymore. This is about cultural phenomenon. This is about icon status. When you can dominate the collectibles market while watching games from the bench, you've transcended the sport itself. And this explains why the world's power players are making massive bets on Caitlin in 2026. We're talking millions of their own money. And it all revolves around one name, Nike. Here's what's going on behind the scenes. As you probably know, Nike has been struggling badly. As of May 2025, their stock price was down nearly 60% from its 2021 peak. One of the most recognizable brands in the world was bleeding value. People said Nike lost its fastball, lost its innovation, lost the forward-thinking mindset that made it the king of sports apparel in the first place. Brands that didn't even exist a decade ago were taking market share. Nike looked old, slow, and out of touch. And then there was the Caitlin Clark signature shoe situation. Fans were furious. They wanted her shoe in 2025. It didn't happen. Aya Wilson got her signature shoe first. And while Aya is the most dominant statistical player in the league, people were asking the same question. Why is Caitlin, the biggest draw in women's sports, not getting her shoe when she's clearly the one everyone wants to buy? Whether it was prioritization, production issues, or Nike just moving too slow, it didn't matter. People saw it as another example of Nike fumbling the bag. Another sign that Nike didn't get it anymore. But here's what's happening behind the scenes right now. On December 22nd, 2025, Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, one of the most valuable companies in the world, bought 50,000 shares of Nike stock. Tim Cook doesn't need risky investments. He could sit on cash and bonds for the rest of his life and never worry. When someone at that level puts their own money into a struggling company, they know something. They've seen something. They've done the research. And then there's Nike CEO, Elliott. He bought approximately $1 million worth of Nike stock at the end of 2025. Think about that. The CEO is betting on his own company. That's not something you do unless you know something big is coming. If you think your company is about to tank, you don't buy, you sell. But Elliott is buying. During a recent earnings call, Hill revealed that Nike's North American business grew 9%, reaching $5.63 billion in the last fiscal quarter. 9% growth. After years of decline, the rebound has started. The numbers prove it. And what's driving it? Caitlin's signature shoe. On December 31st, Caitlin appeared on the New Heights podcast with Travis and Jason Kelsey, and she said something that should have every sneakerhead, every investor, and every basketball fan paying very close attention.
I'm like, man, I wish these things grab better. I wish they had a different mold on the bottom of them. Like, were you super involved in that process as well?
Yeah, for sure. And like, obviously I'm pretty like picky about what I wear. Like I like a certain two Kobe models. So like I knew whatever I was going to put in my own shoe, it needed to be like the equivalent of that technology or even better. And it's going to be even better. I'm not going to say exactly what it is because I think it'll get people excited.
That's right. There's going to be new technology built specifically for Caitlin. And you already know, it's going to make the haters' heads explode. The marketing machine is ramping up, with Nike dropping a Christmas commercial that introduced the From Anywhere tagline. 2 words that perfectly capture what makes Caitlin special. This isn't a slow rollout anymore. Nike is going all in. The shoe drops in 2026. Date still to be confirmed, but it's coming. And here's what we do know. 2 of the smartest CEOs in the world are putting their money where their mouth is. Now imagine what happens when she actually hits the court again, because that's when the roof is going to blow off Gainbridge Fieldhouse and finally put to rest the lingering narrative that the W's success is due to anything other than Caitlin. Let me paint you a picture of what happened last year. May 2025. Caitlin suited up for her first game in 6 months, a preseason exhibition against a no-name Brazilian national team. This wasn't a real game. It was a scrimmage, a tune-up. She sold out Carver Hawkeye Arena in minutes. The buzz was so loud that ESPN decided to televise it nationally. Again, this was a preseason exhibition game. 3 million people tuned in. To put that in perspective, the 2025 WNBA Finals averaged 5 million viewers. And keep in mind, those finals numbers benefited from the new Nielsen ratings methodology, which counts millions more devices and streaming platforms. That means the numbers are inflated compared to games earlier in the season. In other words, a Caitlin Clark preseason game likely outdrew the WNBA Finals. So what happens in 2026 when Caitlin steps back on the court with her new shoes on, the full Nike marketing machine behind her, and an entire offseason of hype building? The viewership is going to be off the charts, and we're finally going to see the true impact of those inflated Nielsen ratings. Her first game of the 2025 season against the Sky drew 7 million viewers. That was with the old methodology. With the new methodology, with the Nike shoe launch, and with the narrative of her return from injury, I'll make a prediction right now. She draws over 5 million viewers in her return game. Tell me in the comments if you think I'm over or under. And here's the thing. Under the new media rights deal, every Caitlin game is going to be nationally televised. Networks aren't going to risk missing those numbers. She's appointment television. She's must-see TV. She's the reason casual fans tune in. So what does all of this prove about Caitlin Clark? She's bigger than basketball. She's a mainstream cultural figure operating at a level we've never seen in women's sports. Let's look at the evidence. Trading cards dominating while injured? Check. Number 1 most collected basketball player in America? Check. Apple CEO investing millions in Nike? Check. Nike CEO betting $1 million on his own company? Check. Revolutionary shoe technology never used before? Check. She's about to save Nike and leave no doubt that the W belongs to her. They said it would die down. It didn't. They said missing a season would kill her momentum. It didn't. The Caitlin Clark effect has only just begun. If you're still here, drop a W in the comments, because you're a winner for sticking around. Thanks for watching.